Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and well, after a lot of rumors, set names, and a lot of other information that appeared online that may or may not have been true, LEGO has finally announced their newest original Big Bang theme, and that is LEGO Dreamzzz. So what exactly is LEGO Dreamzzz? Well, we're going to go over all the details in this video right now. It is a brand new theme that actually Tommy Anderson, creator of Ninjago, had to leave working on Ninjago to work on this TV show instead. It is kind of our first big new original content LEGO theme that kind of is an action adventure type thing since, I guess the last one was Monkey Kid, was the last time we got a Big Bang type of LEGO theme with an associated TV show. I certainly am very excited because I am all for, as much as I like licensed LEGO stuff, some of my favorite themes are licensed, like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, I love it when LEGO does original concepts. I love it when they make their own stories and explore their own unique worlds and make their own IPs. And LEGO Dreamzzz is the first really big launch with a ton of sets. This has a crazy amount of sets launching this summer, and they have finally officially announced it. I cannot wait to talk through this, so let's get into the details of what exactly is LEGO Dreamzzz. Okay, so finally, LEGO Dreamzzz is here. So what exactly is LEGO Dreamzzz? Well, LEGO Dreamzzz is a Big Bang theme. Think of something along the lines of Ninjago or Legends of Chima or Nexo Knights. It is a fully original story with a full wave of sets releasing August 1st, as well as a TV series launching on YouTube on May 15th. The premise of LEGO Dreamzzz is that there is a group of school friends, Mateo, Izzy, Cooper, Logan, and Zoe, and they join a secret agency and learn to use the power of imagination to journey into the dream world and defeat the tyrannical Nightmare King. LEGO Dreamzzz will launch with 10 episodes on May 15th. I am not sure if that will mean all 10 will drop at once or they will come out incrementally, but it says launch with 10 episodes May 15th and will be accompanied by a brand new product range and further episodes starting August 2023. So LEGO Dreamzzz was essentially created thanks to a lot of research that the LEGO company undertook, where they found that dreams are incredibly important in shaping children's minds. 2/3 of children surveyed that dreams are important and help them be more creative during the day, and they play a key role in quote-unquote helping children process complex emotions and engage their imaginations. So after doing a ton of research on kids and figuring out what stimulated kids' imaginations, LEGO developed Dreamzzz. This was in-depth global research children aged 6 to 12 from over 29 different countries. The survey looked at children's imaginations, the psychology of dreams, and their importance in processing emotions, problem solving, and the importance of play for creative experimentation. Almost 1 in 5, so 22% of children reported having more nightmares as a result of stress and loneliness, and more than half of children, 55%, said that nightmares affect the rest of their day, including school, where the dream and real worlds can evidently collide. And so, to solve that, LEGO has created and brought physical form to their nightmares, where you can check them out in new LEGO sets coming out August 1st. But in all seriousness, LEGO Dreamzzz is a really cool and interesting new theme. I, for one, am always really interested when LEGO does original ideas. I think it's really cool that LEGO is branching out into new stuff, so this is going to be a jam-packed, information-filled video where we have new looks at every single one of the characters for the TV show itself. We also have a look at probably the most exciting part for a lot of LEGO fans, which are the entire assortment of new sets. There are a ton of new LEGO Dreamzzz sets, which is going to be so cool to collect. We're actually going to be starting from the largest going to the smallest because, in my opinion, the largest set is the most interesting and probably my favorite set out of the bunch, so I just wanted to start with that one. And lastly, before we get started, we actually have some cool opportunities available for children. To celebrate the launch of LEGO Dreamzzz, LEGO is actually launching a world-first opportunity for children to become quote-unquote chief dream creators, where chosen participants will be flown to Denmark, home of the LEGO Group, to take part in several LEGO Dreamzzz workshops. So as chief dream creators, the children's role will be to champion the creativity of dreams within the company and spread positive creative aspects dreaming can have for young people around the world. To enter, children aged between 6 to 12 years old will be encouraged to submit their own dream creation, either a picture of either a LEGO build they've made themselves or a drawing showing a creature or a vehicle that they have dreamt of that incorporates brick building. The dream creation should be accompanied by a short description relaying what their creation is called, what it can do, and why it excited them in their dream. Entries officially open May 20th to June 20th, and you can find out more on lego.com/dreamzzz, and that's dreams with 3 Z's. For the Bionicle fans in the audience, this is kind of like the Dark Hunter and Rahi contests, where for LEGO's other original theme, children could submit pictures of their mocks and have them be made into official canon things in a guidebook, where this is even something even more exciting because not only will you submit your picture of your mocks and your creations, but you also have the chance to be flown out to Denmark to actually be able to influence the creation of certain LEGO sets and certain LEGO ideas. Not really sure what exactly that entails, but it sounds like a really cool opportunity. I wish I was still between 6 and 12 years old because this is a really cool thing to do. But with that, I think it's time that we jump right into the actual LEGO Dreamzzz products. Now, specifically, there's a lot more information, and I have linked the press release down in the description below, so if you want to read the entire press release, there's a ton of information, such as a comic that they're inserting into LEGO magazines. There's a lot of billboards launching in Tokyo, New York, and London. Like, there's gonna be a crazy amount of promotion here, so do check that out if you're kind of interested in seeing what sorts of stuff that LEGO has done for this theme. But without further ado, I think it's time we make our way over to the sets themselves, because these are some very exciting stuff. First off, we have set number 71469. This is the Nightmare Shark Ship. It retails for $140 US, and this is the main flagship set of the wave. It is the main villain set, which is really, really cool and exciting. I am probably the most excited for the set, and I know that when set names first leaked, this was a set that excited me the most, and it does not disappoint. For $140, you have a massive brick-built shark flying rocket ship, but it's also a ship itself that it has sails. They have recolored the dragon wing element in black and transparent pink, which is a really interesting color scheme. I like how the shark head itself is white. It really adds a splash of unique color to the surroundings, and this has pretty much all of the main characters you would want to have it include. It has Mateo, who is the main hero of the series, in his dream form. He has a green streak in his hair. He also appears to have vitiligo for the first time in an original LEGO theme. We have seen characters with vitiligo in LEGO Friends, and we've also gotten them for LEGO Sports and stuff like that with the foosball table, but we've never gotten a yellow-skinned minifigure with vitiligo, so I think that's a really interesting thing to have. I really like how they have representation there. Dual molded legs looking fantastic. The minifigures just look absolutely phenomenal for this theme. And it also has Izzy, who comes fully armored up with the same armor that they introduced first for the Praetorian Guards in Star Wars, but they recently brought it back a couple of years ago. The hairpiece on Izzy is fantastic. It is phenomenal. I cannot wait to see how that will look in real life because it looks absolutely stunning. Now, a lot of these pictures are, of course, renders, but I still think that that is such a good looking hairpiece, and the sword is dual molded with gold and transparent blue, looking fantastic. She even has a fabric skirt element around the dual molded legs. They really went all out when it came to the minifigures here. There is a captured friend who is kind of stored within the shark itself with the Bunchu the Bunny stuffed animal, so I like how they actually have a stuffed animal piece for that. And in terms of the villains, we have the Nightmare King himself. He is the main villain of the series. One thing that's really interesting, and I'm very curious what exactly is going on with the Nightmare King, is that he has some sort of what looks to be a plastic, almost like a cape element, or it looks like nightmares are almost coming out of him. There's like an evil looking dragon head coming out of the side of his body. I'm really interested to see what exactly that piece will look like in real life, so that's going to be such a cool thing to get. I think out of all of the villains, or all of the minifigure characters in general, the Nightmare King is my favorite character in terms of how he looks. He just looks so menacing and so cool, and I cannot wait to get him as a physical minifigure. There are also a couple of minion characters included in the set itself. There is a character called Snivel, who is this very large-headed character. I like how they're reusing the Thanos Big Fig head in terms of giving us a very oversized and almost comical but still menacing character there. He looks like a really fun one to get. And we also got a few other different villains as well. We have different characters that are essentially meant to act as other antagonists in the series, such as what appears to be Susan here. I guess that's a really funny name for that character, but yeah, this is Susan. So Susan has multiple eyes. She has some glowing fire smoke and a dual molded transparent pink and black headpiece, which is so cool. Transparent pink bat wings from Chima. All sorts of interesting minifigures. But minifigures aside, just taking a look at this build, it is absolutely phenomenal. This is easily the best set of the wave in my opinion. You have some great detailing for the shark head, you have a nice rib cage down below, the ship part is really well integrated. Maybe the sails do feel a little bit lackluster in terms of the relative proportional size of the rest of the build, but everything else looks so good, and I cannot wait to have this physically in hand to be able to judge it fully. But next up from that, I'll stop gushing about the shark ship, and we can take a look at the next set. This is the Fantastical Treehouse, set number 71461, retailing for $105 US, and here's the thing. The prices of these sets are about to get really strange, and I have a sneaking suspicion that these were affected by the price increases because there's just some prices that they just don't make sense. Like, later on down the line, there's a $63 set, $53, $48, $38, $21 set, not 20, 21, and it really does feel like LEGO was kind of messing around with the price increases here. They were really trying to squeeze the pure amount of value from the set, which I guess I understand. I mean, this year has been hit by price increases, but it is unfortunate because I do feel like a lot of these sets are more expensive than maybe they should be. But anyways, going on to this set here, this is the Fantastical Treehouse. You may notice that there is a brand new mold introduced for LEGO Dreamzzz. They used it for back exhausts on the shark set in transparent pink and what looked to be dual molded purple. Here, they are used in a bluish color, and they act as leaves, they act as exhausts, they really can be whatever you want them to be. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not super sold on this new piece. I feel like they were trying to make a ubiquitous piece that could serve as both an exhaust piece and a leaf piece, and it ends up not really being one or the other because they clearly look like jet engine exhausts, but they also have leaf elements on them, so not really sure if I'm super convinced by them. Honestly, if you just removed them and left them off, I feel like the set might look a little bit better because the blue foliage actually does look really good. And then it kind of has just these large, almost like bionicle swords sticking out of the bottom, so not sure how I feel about those pieces, but everything else does look really good in terms of the set itself. It almost feels like this would be a LEGO Friends or a LEGO Elves set, which is not a bad thing because Friends and Elves were both amazing themes, but it really goes to show the amount of diversity that this theme has to offer, where on one hand you have a really metal-looking shark ship, and on the other hand you have just kind of a cozy-looking multicolored treehouse with different rooms dedicated to each of the different characters. So the Fantastical Treehouse is a $105 set. Looks like it probably was $100 before LEGO raised the prices, but you know, it is what it is. It comes with one of the cage monsters, almost like a smaller version of a later set in the wave, which is Grim Keeper the Cage Monster. It comes with the Dream Hunter, which is a really cool looking minifigure, or the Night Hunter, I believe is his name. He has an eyeball on the top of his hat. He almost is a Western inspired character with a crossbow. All sorts of cool designs here. And of course you get the main heroes, you get Izzy and Mateo in their fully kitted out forms. You also have Zblob, you have a little mushroom-like character, and you have another character. This is Mrs. Castillo, who is introducing a brand new molded element for her body. If you really zoom in there, that is a new dual molded element, which is very strange, but I like how they're giving us different looks at how to create minifigures, so I am all for it. It is a very interesting type of thing to get, and overall, this is another really interesting new LEGO set. I think that the Nightmare Shark ship honestly just appeals to me more, which is completely understandable. Different things appeal to different folks, but I absolutely can't understate how good of a build this is. This is a really fun build, and I really love how much character and energy you get in terms of each and every one of the houses. It just feels like there is so much life to the set, and there are a lot of things that you can actually do with it, so I'm a big fan. Moving on from that though, we can take a look at the next set. This set is set number 71460, Mr. Oz's Space Bus. It retails for $100 and is personally another one of my favorite sets. It comes with a ton of characters, including Mateo, Mr. Oz, Albert the Monkey, Zblob, Logan in his dream state, Susan, Denny, Proper Chopper, Captain Bedbeard, and Fright Knight. So these are all really fun characters that are inspired by almost like different LEGO themes. Like you can see that the little villain characters, one of them is a spaceman. Like his name is literally Denny instead of Benny. That's hilarious. And you've also got knight-inspired ones, pirate ones, so I like how they're leaning into some of LEGO's other themes, but then you also have a full cast of main heroes here, including Mateo with his cape, which does look really cool. It's a brand new cut, and the full-on dual-molded legs that we've come to expect from the character. This is the only set to include Mr. Oz, who looks to be in almost like a mentor-like role for the series. He appears in the trailer as one of their teachers from school, but I guess in the dream world he is an inventor and creator. I like how the armor piece from the collectible minifigures Galaxy Patrol character is still in use, and overall this feels like a really fun and inventive build. It takes the concept of a school bus, which is kind of something we did see in Hidden Side, but it completely turns it into something new, like a rocket ship. I feel like with a different color scheme, this could honestly be a really good, almost classic space inspired build. You have massive booster engines on the back, you have the classic space inspired logo, except that this time it is an hourglass, which I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but I guess we will find out. Now, Mr. Oz actually does have a classic space logo on his shirt for the animated series, so we'll see if it is also underneath his torso, because if it is, I'm sure that'll be a very useful one for folks. But overall, I think the color scheme on this really does stand out to me as being really unique and interesting. You have the keyed orange or flame yellowish orange for the bus aspect, but it's also mashing up the white, light blue, the azure, and the black, which is a very classic LEGO spaceship color scheme. It really does feel like something you would see from maybe Futuron or something like that in terms of the transparent blue windscreen, and all in all, this looks like just a really fun set to swoosh around. It looks really swooshable, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. However, for $100, I really will need to have this in hand to get a feel for if it is worth $100. I'm looking at this and it doesn't really feel like it should be more than maybe $80, $85 tops, so I really do want to see after doing my review on this, is it worth $100? And the exhaust piece using that leaf piece as the exhaust, still not sold on that, but maybe it'll look better in person. Moving on from that, we have set number 71459. This is the stable of the Dream Creatures. This is another set that feels like it is straight out of LEGO Elves, which was one of my favorite themes when it was running, so I'm really happy to get that. I like how we're getting different outfits for each of the characters. You can see this comes with a lot of the main characters, but in casual outfits. For instance, Izzy does not have her armor on, and she's in a bit more of a casual attire, so that is really nice to see. And it also comes with two other main characters, Zoe and Cooper, as well as Mrs. Castillo, which is her second appearance here. She appears in the third set, so she's one of the more common characters, but I do like the new mold they introduced for kind of the hunched over old lady, Zblob, and as well as a couple of Dreamling mushrooms, which just look like fun little characters to have. This is a really cute and charming set. You can see that prominently they are introducing a couple of new pieces. You have the leaf piece that we first saw in the LEGO Mario Donkey Kong sets, being used in tan here for the propellers, but you also have this very nice, almost nature-like vine element, which is being used for the decorations on the front of the stable. That is somewhat similar to the elves detail piece that they used, but it is a different element, so it does look pretty good. And overall, I think I actually do really like the almost deer-like creature that they have fully brick-built here. It is a really nicely built creature. I like how they're using the basilisk piece or the kind of macaroni tube piece being used for the neck. I think that looks really good. And I only wish that for a stable of the Dream Creatures, it came with more than just one creature of full size. I guess there is another like cat-like blob creature in the barrel, but I really would have expected there to be at least a couple of different creatures. But however, one of the coolest things about these sets, and you can especially see it in this set in particular, is that they actively encourage kids to try to come up with new ways to play with the set itself. Every single one of the LEGO Dream sets looks like it has this sort of integration, but essentially what they have is that they have a lot of additional parts so that you can transform the creatures into different shapes. You have one with pink antlers or with blue flowers on the sides, and there are different modules. You actually have different pieces you can turn to different parts of the instruction manual in order to transform the dream creature into a completely different thing. And they have this for almost every single one of the sets, which is something I think is really cool and impressive. I really like how they're really leaning into the creativity aspect of LEGO. Obviously, LEGO Dreamzzz is all about being more creative with how you play with LEGO sets, and I really do appreciate how just unique they've been able to make each and every one of these builds, which honestly kind of encourages kids and even myself to buy multiple copies of the sets, especially when more intense and larger transformations are required. Moving on from that, speaking of more intense and larger transformations, we have set number 71458. This is the Crocodile Car, which very strangely retails for $63 US. Yeah, I am not feeling the price on this. Maybe I'll need to have this in hand to really get a sense for what exactly this is, but I am not really feeling the $63 price tag. That just doesn't feel quite right to me. However, the very cool thing about this set is that, of course, you have the large crocodile form, which is you've got legs out of the sides of the car. You also have the crocodile mouth opening and closing and the tail. But you can rebuild it two different ways. You can either rebuild it into a regular red car, which is kind of removing any bit of the crocodile motif. It really is just a regular red racing car, or you can rebuild it into kind of a fusion hybrid. It has the crocodile jaw-ish type thing at the front, but it is very clearly a souped-up car with wheels, and that is something I really like about it, and might even convince me to buy multiple copies of the set. You can see in the trailers that you actually have the two different versions of the car seen in the show, so this is not just a set thing, this is absolutely something that you can actually see in the show itself, so I think that is very cool how they actually have that being an aspect of the show, the rebuilding aspect, and this comes with Cooper, who is one of the main characters in his fully armored up, suited up form, Logan in his dream state, a character named Jaden who looks to be a sleeping prisoner, as well as two villains, the Night Hunter and Snivel. So the Night Hunter again looks absolutely fantastic, cannot wait to get that fully in hand to play around with the minifigure, and Construction or Bionicle enthusiasts may notice that there is a new ratchet joint limb element being introduced for the set. It is really unique. It actually has this nice ridge detailing, but it allows you to attach different limbs onto the ratchet joints, which is a really cool expansion of that building system. It has been ages since we've actually seen a full-on expansion piece for it. Actually, we did, I guess, just recently get the new thinner socket piece, but this one is a lot more versatile, and I cannot wait to see builders start to integrate this into other builds. One random interesting thing that I will point out is that the sticker on the side of the build actually does look like it is using cone elements. The sticker on the side looks like it is just replicating what Lego pieces look like, but as a sticker. I don't know, that's just something weird I thought I would point out. I don't know why they didn't brick build that. But again, for $63, not really convinced. This looks, on the box art alone, it looks like maybe a $50 set at most. I would even say $45. But then I look at the alternate images and the car looks a lot beefier, like the other versions of the build look bigger than the actual thing. So I don't know where all the parts are going into this. Maybe this has a ton of extra parts so you can do your own things with it. I guess we'll find out. Moving on from that, we have set number 71457. This is the Pegasus Flying Horse, retailing for $53 US. Ooh, that is not a wonderful price there. However, I will say that this is probably one of my most anticipated sets. When the set names first leaked, I saw the name Pegasus Flying Horse, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not super interested in that. Maybe it'll just be like a kooky creature that is kind of just a fantastical thing, maybe not really up my alley. But this is the villain vehicle. Like, this is the main villain animal, so it comes with Zoe, Nova, Susan, and the Nightmare King. So Zoe is easily the most interesting character in the set. She has a brand new hairpiece in purple, which looks really cool, as well as a purple bow. Nova looks to be just another captured character who is sleeping and just gets captured in the cage. But it's really nice to get the Nightmare King in not just the most expensive set. You can also get a really up-close look at his really nice detailed plastic cape element, which has the nightmares almost seeping out of him. The great dual-molded sword element is returning here in black and transparent pink. And overall, this build looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the way it's crafted. It feels very organic to me. The horse head is done really well. You have again, those macaroni pieces being used for the legs, almost like a digitigrade leg type thing going on. And it does have the wings that are used in the shark ship, but also feel a lot more better proportioned here. So a big fan of this one. And the cool thing is that with this set, like any of the other Dream sets, there are some alternate build options available, and we do not have all the full details at the time of this recording. I've really just been only given these images of the sets, so I can kind of just, I guess, extrapolate what is going on in each one of the sets, but I think it is a really cool thing how you can actually be able to transform sets into different pieces, and this is easily one of the most interesting builds for me in particular. The villain designs for this wave are really cool, and I like how they actually are able to kind of give you a different look and feel for the villains. You have a detachable flying throne for the Nightmare King, which looks very fun, and overall, this is just a really cool looking build, especially for the hero build, where you can actually transform her build into either a butterfly-like wingsuit or a bird-like character. So you can do all sorts of different things with it. And one image even shows the main hero character piloting the nightmare horse. I don't know what's going on with that, but all sorts of crazy stuff that you can do, and I just like how you have different alternate builds. Moving on from that, we have set number 71456, Mrs. Castillo's Turtle Van, retailing for $48. Again, a really weird price. Just feels like this is another one that they just decided to raise the price by just a little bit, but this is something that we've seen in the trailers like most of the sets. I like it, I think it's really charming, maybe not necessarily my cup of tea in terms of a action-adventure themed LEGO build, but I do really like how it has just very nice vibes to it. It feels very peaceful and friendly. It comes with Zblob, Mrs. Castillo, Mateo in a slightly different outfit. He doesn't have his cape here, but he has a bit of a backpack, as well as Zoe and a Grimspawn as pretty much the only villainous aspect of the set. So this is just another fun little build. I love the turtle head. I think the turtle head is done in a really cute fashion. I am glad the CCBS armor shell piece is not retired. I thought they would be replacing it with the one that connects on hinges, but thankfully they did not retire it, and they're allowing both to kind of exist at once. You have a golden or keyed orange version of the new flower flame piece being used on the top of the van, which I guess it's alright. Not a big fan of how that one turned out, but it is okay. The cool thing about this is that you can, again, fully convert it, so you can actually have the van be just a normal van, which I'm sure a lot of people will really appreciate in LEGO City builds. You can literally just have a regular camper van without the turtle motifs, and then you can transform it into the more fantastical, dreamlike turtle van. You can have a walking mode or a flying mode when you get to the turtle aspect, so there are all sorts of crazy things you can do here. It's just the price of $48 feels really high to me, just not a big fan of that. But we'll see again, it might play differently in hand. I'm just a little bit skeptical about the price. And finally, moving on, we have 3 more sets. 71455 is Grim Keeper the Cage Monster. Now, when images of this first came out, a lot of Bionicle fans were saying this looks just like Karzani, and I can't disagree. Obviously, there are a lot of differences, but I do actually like the build of this. It looks really fun. This does retail for $38 US, a weird price, and that feels way too high to me. I feel like this is a $30 set. Like, this clearly feels like it was made to be at most 35, 30, I would say 30, but 38 is just not right. I think this is just, I mean, you can see most of the set as it is, and it is a really cool looking monster. I like the way it's built. It just doesn't feel like it is really worth it for the price. Again, have to have it in hand, but a little disappointed on the prices of this wave. This does come with Cooper in a regular civilian outfit, so I do like how they have the regular outfits of them as well. Mateo in his dream form, as well as Zblob, so this is a nice little creation for Zblob being a flyer, as well as Mateo just trapped inside the creature itself, so this is a really nice type of build. I like how it is a cool monster-like build. The face looks really amazing. You actually have a smaller version of this in the Treehouse set, so that is a fun thing to get. But overall, just kind of mixed in terms of the price. It looks like a lot of fun, but I wish it was a lot cheaper. Moving on from that, we have 71454 Mateo and Zblob the robot, which retails for $21 US, and yeah, this looks like it should totally have just been $21 or $20.99. Weird price again, but I actually really like this build. It is a fully articulated, buildable character. If Bionicle were to come back, they might do something like this. I feel like this is kind of a cool looking build for a fantastical robot character, and I do also like how they've molded the macaroni pieces in transparent green to really add the slime aspect of the character itself. I like almost the flamethrower-esque gun that he has. Feels almost straight out of Exoforce in that gun there, and this just comes with Mateo, Zblob, and Jaden, so this is a slightly less armored up version of Mateo. There's no cape or backpack, but he is still in his fully dream aspect, and Jaden looks like just a hapless civilian who keeps on getting kidnapped by the monsters throughout all of these sets. Overall, the price isn't that bad on this. Like, $21 isn't awful, but I would have liked it to be just a little bit cheaper. And finally, we have set number 71453, another $21 set. This is Izzy and Bunchu the Bunny. Thankfully, this does come with Izzy in the cheapest set for fully armored up. She has the side shoulder armor, she has the hair, she has her sword dual molded, the gold hourglass piece, which is new, so that's fantastic. Just comes with Izzy and a Grimspawn, but I really do feel like this is actually one of the best valued sets of the wave, and again, much like any of the other sets, you can continuously transform it where you have Bunchu the Bunny, who can be just this kind of pose, just standing up fully as is, or you can have the bunny in a completely different pose, kind of walking along the ground on all four legs. There's a lot that you can do with even just the smallest sets, and while the set may not be for everyone, I just think it's a really cute one to get in particular, and I just like how charming it is as a build, and I can't wait to see how this will really play around with in the show. And with that, we have summed up every single one of the brand new sets from the LEGO Dreamzzz line. There are a lot of sets. They all release on August 1st, and hopefully, if things go right, Duckbrick should be getting review copies of every single one of the sets, so I will be able to showcase the sets early for review, which I'm very excited to do. Cannot wait to have those in hand and available to have every single one be on display, so hopefully we'll be able to have in-depth reviews on Duckbricks, and I would like your help. Comment down below, how would you like the reviews to be done? I could do a mega review and review every single set at once and release that first, and then release individual reviews regularly afterwards. Or what we could do is just start with the smallest ones and work our way up to the mega review. It might take a few weeks to do that, but we could do pretty much whatever people want to do. So comment down below, what format of reviews do you want for each of these sets? And finally, we just have some more images of all of the characters here. One thing that I am noticing in the character images is that we have civilian versions and dream versions of almost all the main characters. I'm really excited to see more of these characters appear in minifigure form. I am almost certain that stuff like the regular form of Logan or the dream version of Jaden, those are probably future minifigures we are going to get because they have a lot of effort put into them and we just haven't seen them physically in the sets themselves. Even the regular version of Mr. Oswald, or Dr. Oz as he's called in the dream world. So I'm just curious to see exactly what sorts of more minifigures we will get because there are a lot more things, and one of the main builds looks to be this bird owl-like creature called Zien. Zien features on the poster and it seems to be a huge part of the series, but is conspicuously absent from any of the sets, so I feel like that's another one that's a future set. Maybe next year or for a future wave we'll be getting that one. So I like how we're having more potential for further sets already being shown off in the TV show itself. Even one of the creatures called Sneak looks like it is another one that just isn't in this first wave of sets, but will probably be in a future one. Can't wait to see all the future minifigures, and of course, let me know in the comments, what do you think of LEGO Dreamzzz? This is a wacky and crazy new theme. Prices of the sets, a little high. I feel like they should be a little cheaper. I do, however, appreciate how they do have $20-ish sets to really serve as entry points to the theme. Always very important to get that. But overall, excited for LEGO Dreamzzz to come out. I am always a big fan of LEGO doing original LEGO themes, and this is the biggest one we've gotten in years. So let's celebrate it while we can. Alright, so with that we have summed up all of the details of the newest Big Bang original LEGO theme, that is LEGO Dreamzzz. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this brand new theme? Do you like the concept? Do you dislike it? What do you think of the sets as well? I, for one, am so excited to be able to review this. I don't know what the situation is with LAN, if they'll be sending me some sets early to review or if I'm on my own. Either way, if I am on my own, I definitely will be buying every single set. I want to support a new original theme launch, and if they send it to me early, well, fantastic, then I can get the word out faster. Really just depends on what they decide to do, but yeah, this is so exciting. It is pretty rare nowadays that LEGO introduces a new big original theme. Back in like 2009, 2010, the golden age of original LEGO themes, they would do a few new original action themes per year, but now we really only get one big one every few years. Last one was Monkey Kid 2020. It's now 2023, so 3 years later, here we are with the newest Big Bang theme. I cannot wait to see the show. I'm always very excited when LEGO does a new TV show and launches a new original theme, so this is quite exciting. Would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. And check us out on Twitch, also linked in the description below, for live LEGO builds, even live LEGO city setup stuff, like how I was setting up this city live on Twitch, and LEGO video games. We do a lot of fun stuff there, so I hope you join us. Thanks all for tuning into Duckbricks, and bye for now.